Guys, welcome back to another episode of Olde Carr Guy. My name is Jason. Thanks for tuning in today. We're talking about the aggravation of Facebook Marketplace and online selling. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. If you don't like talking videos, well, I encourage you just to skip over this one and go on and look up some Mortski repair or some junkyard digs, vice grip garage, whatever. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is give you guys some education, show you my frustrations and what really grinds my gears.
Thanks, Tom. You know what really grinds my gears?
And give you some tips and tricks to basically properly trying to sell your vehicle on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. In Canada, we use Kijiji. So wherever you're listing your vehicle, make sure you're following some of these tips that we're going to go over, because if you want to sell it, you got to sell it. And I've been selling cars at my used car dealership now for almost 15 years, and I've bought and sold a lot of cars long before then, and I'll probably be doing it long after I'm doing it professionally. So I've learned a few things, and Facebook Marketplace is the example that we're going to be using, just simply because I can go and I can choose a lot of things very, very quickly without jumping around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop them up on screen, and I'm going to talk about some of the ads that I've seen on some of the vehicles I've been looking at, as well as we're going to jump to the ad currently available on Facebook Marketplace for my 97 Lincoln Town Car, and show you some of the things that I did that may help you out. So what we'll do is we'll get these up on the screen, and then we'll talk about each one. Let's go. So I'm just going to open this up randomly, and the first one that we come up with is this 2008 Crown Victoria. Only 3 pictures. And from the pictures that I see, I can automatically see where, because it's a white car, I can see some of the burnouts that this guy has been doing and blowing his tires up. Zoom in here and show you on the passenger side, and over here on the driver's side, the same thing. This thing has been slapping cords up against that door like there's no tomorrow, and this is how he's trying to promote and sell his vehicle. There's no price listed there, just 1, 2, 3, 4, which is standard, 220,000 kilometers, and his only description is that it works good on the road, looking to trade. So, I mean, guys, if you want to sell your car, you got to have more pictures than that, preferably a clean car. Nobody wants to see that you've been abusing this thing. You want to try and get the most money out of it. Make sure you clean it up. Jump over this 2010 Golf, and it shows a clear price, $32.75. The kilometers on it are 233. Automatic transmission, and where it's available. Good pictures, lots of pictures in there showing the interior and the exterior as we scroll down. Again, very minimal description. Safety inspected until June 24. So you got about a year and a half on the inspection, which is great. But tell me some of the things that you've done. You could have cleaned it. You could have vacuumed it out. You could have got those pee stains and whatever stains off the seats. But I do like the fact that there was lots of pictures. And of course, Facebook Marketplace gives you some of the standard stuff as you fill that in. We're going to scroll down here. We're going to take a look at one more, and this is a 2000 Mercury Grand Marquis, 212,000 kilometers, asking $2,000, listed just 10 hours ago. One picture, and as we scroll through, of course in Canada here, or at least in New Brunswick, we get French and English, so we are able to translate. 2000 Grand Marquis V8 4.6 automatic, works well, needs a battery, and needs rear bodywork. Show me the bodywork. I'd like to see that. There's no other pictures in this car. From that angle, it looks good. I don't know if the rear bumper cover is torn off. I don't know if the trunk's dented or what, but you're not showing me anything. You're not really telling me much of a story. Jump into this 2003 GMC Sonoma, $3,800, 165,000 kilometers. That's about 100,000 miles, guys, on an 03 Sonoma. Again, not a whole lot of pictures, but there's enough there you can kind of see every angle of the vehicle. I got the PAP cap on it, and it's an automatic. It does say that it's a V6, and you know, very little information other than I can tell it's for sale because of the way that it is. We need to have more information if we're going to be trying to sell these vehicles. So now let's pop up my 97 Lincoln Town Car, and I'll show you the difference between bad ads and a good one. Automatically, I can see that there's 16 pictures available. I'm getting every angle of the car, And I also get some interior pictures, which we'll see here in a second. I'm just scrolling really quick. Shows I got 2 keys, heated seats, clean wash bay or clean engine bay, digital dash, no engine lights, nice clean trunk. Got the mileage up there, lots of mileage, 234, and the description. As I open up the description, look how detailed this description is. I tell all the options it has, that everything works, and some of the work that I've done to it. This car was just recently inspected, actually yesterday, and in New Brunswick here, our inspections are good for 2 years, and it's licensed until September of next year. I'm interested in trading. All that information is there, and again, plenty of pictures. You cannot leave much to the imagination. When people want to buy a car, they want to know everything that they can. I've also left a link to the video that I did showing that this is for sale. The car has 2 keys, 2 remotes, and I think if you go to some other places, they just simply don't give you enough information to make a very good judgment on whether or not you want to contact the person, or if you're even willing to pay the price they're asking. So some of the things that you want to keep in mind: you can put as many pictures as you want, add lots of pictures, add lots of dialogue, show everything that you've done. If you've got a Carfax report, you can show a Carfax report. If you've done some work, if it's got damage, show those damages. Now with Facebook, I am only allowed, I think maybe 16 might have been the limit, but I did do a video showing some of the damage, some dents and some scratches and this and that, and you guys can do that. Show a video. If you're posting it up on eBay or some other websites, you can add videos to that as well, or at least link to a video. You walk around the car, show that it runs and drives and starts and goes into gear and drives around the yard, whatever. More information, the better. That way, it's less information that they got to bug you about when they need more information. They're not constantly messaging you at all hours of the night. And then there's the most frustrating of all, and that is when you're selling things on Facebook Marketplace that aren't high-ticket items, whether it be shelving, tools, tires, TVs, electronics, whatever it happens to be. You get 10 messages that are just idiots before you get one that is good. Is this still available? Yes. And then they ghost you. You get that all the time. And then you get one like this fella here. I'm selling a 42-inch plasma TV. It's a Samsung, and it's been for sale. He messaged me the other day asking me if it was still available. I said yes. He replied back, go figure, and said, can we meet tonight at 7 o'clock? That's when I get off work. Sure, no problem. I put no further thought into that conversation because I thought for sure I'd never hear from the guy again. Well, 7 o'clock rolls around and he says, I'm going to head to the bank and then head out to where you are. Where are you located? I gave him my address. He says, all right, is there any way I can test it before I buy it too? I said, sure, I'll get it hooked up and I'll be in the garage at my house. And then literally within 5 minutes, he texted me back saying, actually, I'm really sorry, but I'm no longer able to buy the TV. And I'm like, dude, why? And I asked him, and well, he just didn't have the money. So at 7 o'clock when he got off work, he knew he had the money and still wanted to buy it, to the point where he asked me where it was and for me to plug it in. So I get up off my comfy couch in my warm living room and I go out to my garage where it's a little bit cool because I don't have the heat on, and I proceed to unplug one TV and plug the other one in and get it wiped down and cleaned up and get it ready for him. And in the time it took me to do that, he sends me the message saying, no. And then there was this project. So here I am trying to prepare myself to buy something to replace the 97 Lincoln Town Car that I'm selling. And so I see this. It's a 1978 Chevrolet. He's got it written as a G10. I don't think it's a G10. It's probably at least a G30 or a C30 or whatever they called them. A big, probably a 3-ton truck with a square body dually 8-foot bed on the back of it. And it looks pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. But it's basically the only picture he's got. And no description. So I sent him the listing for my Lincoln, asked him if he was interested in trading. And he didn't respond. So then I replied back with this. Just wondering if you put any thought into a trade. He said, no thanks. I said, okay, thank you. I'm still interested. Can you give me more details about the truck? Does it run, drive? What's the drivetrain? any major repairs that need tires, body, etc. And then his simple reply was, you'll have to look. It's a project. I'm like, for crying out loud, you took the time to post one picture on Facebook Marketplace, and then when I ask you questions because you didn't give me any information, which I want, you tell me, oh, it's a project. You'll just have to come look at it. So you want me to drive an hour and a half to ask you all these questions when you could answer them for me right here, or take a few more pictures and send them to me. It would save us both a heck of a lot of time. So it pissed me off. And I mean, I really like this rig, and I really think that if I can get the Lincoln sold in a timely fashion and it's still available, I think I would go and definitely take a look at it and try and bring it home. But here we are. Him telling me that I've got to go to him. With today's day and age and technology that's available with these cell phones and communication and pictures and cameras, videos, you want me to come to you to waste time so that when I get up there I find out that this thing's a rot box or a rust bucket or something. And then there's this jewel. This is another one that I've been trying to line up in case I sell the Lincoln, that I can reach out and see if this guy would be interested in trading, which he's not, but I love the car. So he's got some pictures of it here, and it looks like he's got an old Pinto with some wood grain on there too. 72 Mercury Montego. It's a wagon. It looks like it's got the keystones on it. All the lights seem to work, and based on the conversation I had with him, it needs some interior work, headliner, floor pans, stuff like that. But it does have a 351, and it's a nice looking rig. I really have a hard time. We're talking Truro, Nova Scotia, so this is like a 4-hour drive one way with a trailer if I did decide to go get this thing. But very little information. So I messaged the guy, and let me show you the conversation that I had with him. So the conversation started with me sending him a picture of my car, asking for an interest in trade, and he says, no, I'd like to sell it. At the same time, he goes and says, come buy it for your YouTube channel. So he knows who I am. He watches my YouTube channel. I thought that was pretty cool. And he says that, he seen some of my videos and asked me if I made the car show in Moncton, which is the Atlantic Nationals, and I did. And so basically, I said, I'd love to have your wagon for my channel, but I've got to sell the Lincoln first. And we just have this great old conversation. And he sends me some more pictures, which I thought was great, and tells me a little bit about it, asking for more pictures, the frame, the floor, etc. And he says he does have a few more pics, needs some work, and going on to show me all the pictures. A little bit of rot where the spare tires go, which is common with those things. Anyway, had a great conversation with this young fella, and I hope that if the Lincoln sells, that I'll be able to reach out to the big 3-ton truck guy, as well as this wagon if they're still available, and see if we can't put some kind of a deal together with those. I think either one would be great projects for the channel. You guys go ahead and tell me down below which you think would be a better project, the square body 3-ton truck or the Mercury Montego wagon. Either way, I think we could have lots of fun, but go ahead and list them down below. Which one do you think is your favorite? Speaking of messages and texts and scams,
it's a scam, Linda.
You want to be careful with some of the scams that are out there, especially when there are areas like Kijiji here in Canada where they ask you for your phone number. So if somebody wants to call you, they can, but what you get is this. So it's common here anyways that these scammers will ask you for a report that's not a Carfax, that may be something you've never heard of before, and they want you to buy it and forward it to them, because if you buy it, then they are earning a commission. They are essentially the salespeople, but they play like they're interested in your car. They also will tell you, I'm very interested, I'm prepared to buy, I'm not going to negotiate the price, but all you've got to do is provide me with this report. So here's one that started off with somebody, and I'm going to leave the phone numbers up there, guys. Feel free to call these phone numbers or text them or spam them or whatever you want to be able to do. But basically, so this conversation starts off with, hey, Still available, your 1997 Lincoln, ? So the broken English is almost a giveaway, but nevertheless, given the benefit of the doubt, yes it is. Is there any work needed? So he's actually getting to the point where he wants to know if there's anything that the car needs. So I said, other than the AC not working, which I have disclosed, it just passed a provincial safety inspection. Watch this as it explains a lot about the car. So I linked the YouTube video. And he says, okay, is there any way we can meet tomorrow? Where are you located? And I said, sure thing. Where are you coming from? He says, Kirkland, New Brunswick. So for those of you who don't know, Kirkland is a very, very, very tiny community. It's just one of these places that you just drive through. There might be 5 houses, and it's got a name. I had to look it up because I didn't know where it was, and it's not that far from me. So I dropped a pin for him, telling him that this is where I am. He says, let's set up a time for 2 p.m. Can you provide me a GAR report or a GAR report? And of course, I didn't know what a GAR report was. I said, do you mean a Carfax? GlobalAutoReports.com. Here's the link. You can get the GR papers from. I forgot to ask for your name. I was trying to be polite and introduce himself. He says, my name is Dave. I said, well, tomorrow, 2 p.m. is fine. My name is Jason. And at this point, I'm kind of getting the vibe, because this is the first time that somebody has contacted me via text, seeing how I had just posted the ad on Kijiji roughly 20 minutes previous to this. Nice to meet you, Jason. I've sent you the link because I did a couple of reports in the past, never had any issues, again, broken English, so I trust the result. It's cheap, so I referred. And I replied to him, to be honest with you, I've never heard of it, and that makes me leery. I do have a full Carfax report with a detailed history I can share with you. I'm not sure exactly what you were looking for. I'm happy to provide you with the VIN. And of course, that's not good enough for him. He specifically wants me to go and get this report because a Carfax or any other government reports, they're just not detailed enough for him. So I provide him a picture of the VIN saying, here's the VIN. And he says, keeps on going. I sent you the link. It's not my vehicle to be purchasing a report. I mean, I'm offering him the Carfax, which I've already paid for. And it shows that there's no liens. It shows it's a 2-owner car before me, and shows a detailed history. And again, that wasn't good enough for him. So I told him I already purchased a full Carfax report with lien check. I'm not prepared to spend more money on a report I've never heard of that will provide you with the same information. If you are interested in having the report from that company, by all means purchase it yourself, and I'll be happy to refund what you paid when you purchased the car. So I've caught on, and I'm trying to turn it back on him. And he says, I'm fine with the price, just need to clear my concerns about the vehicle. Don't get me wrong, I screwed about my previous vehicle, whatever that means. That's why I'm referring you to a particular website is all. So this is where I come clean with them. I've been in the used car business a long time, and nobody is ever fine with the price. We all want deals, including this guy. The fact that you keep pushing for me to purchase this report tells me that you are either a scammer or somebody that works for the company that issues the reports. And you never have any intentions on buying the car. You are raising way too many red flags with me and your Alberta area code, which is way across the country, telling me that you're from New Brunswick and being pushy about this report that you can easily purchase on your own if you were that concerned. I appreciate your interest in the car, and I'm more than happy to meet you tomorrow at 2 o'clock, but I will not be giving my money to a website I've never heard of. And basically, that's where I thought this conversation ended. And I thought I was done. So I blocked the guy so I wouldn't get any more texts. But unfortunately, they keep coming. Be leery of people who are contacting you, asking you to buy reports. Be leery of people who want to pay you up front and send somebody else to get their cars. Be leery of never meeting the buyer. I encourage you all that if you want to take a deposit from somebody, insist on a small amount. That way, when the person comes to pick up the vehicle, you have to deal with them face to face to receive the cash. There's a lot of people out there who trust different ways of doing things. In Canada, we have electronic e-transfers, which is basically like using cash. I trust that 100%. However, wire transfers, no, don't do wire transfers. PayPal, again, be leery for such large quantities of money, because if you don't know exactly the person it's going to, that money could be gone and you're out. And vice versa. If you're the purchaser, they could say they sent it to you and you've never seen it. Just a big hassle. Cash is king, always has been, always will be, and make sure you're dealing face to face. That's the only true 100% way that you're ever going to be able to put these sales together. Also, make sure you know that the customer has the title in hand. If it involves you asking them to take a picture of the title to send to you to make sure that you know they have it, ask it. If they don't provide you that picture, don't buy it, because chances are they don't have it. And you're going to go and you're going to drive an hour, 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever you're going to drive to go get this car, and the title's not going to be there, and you're out. That time, the money it cost you to drive down there, rent a trailer, whatever it took, grab a couple of buddies to help you drive, whatever it is. Just be careful, because there's no business like face-to-face business. And being in the car sales business for as long as I have, that's the type of business that we do. And we want to make sure that when we're doing these sales, everyone's guaranteed to get what they paid for. You're getting the car that I advertised, and I'm getting the money that I asked for, and that we came to that agreement. So this video is basically just to kind of put together some tips and tricks and what to be leery of when it comes to buying and selling online. Guys, I hope this helps you out. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also make sure you're subscribed to Olde Carr Guy, because we got lots of new videos coming in 2023, including the Yugo project, which we're stuffing a Toyota engine into an 87 Yugo. Stay tuned for that. So guys, stay focused on the windshield, not the rearview mirror. I love you. God bless. Let's do it again real soon.